a dreadful murder of an 8-year-old girl. When adults lie, the child's spirit will reveal the truth about the pedophile murderer and his hypocritical accomplice. Welcome to Psychics Investigate. There are only real impressive stories that people who call themselves psychics try to sort out here. In this episode, a young woman from a small town in eastern Ukraine contacted the clairvoyants. Kateryna is searching for her 8-year-old sister, Valya.
Hello, help me, please. My sister disappeared 12 years ago. She was my only close relative. I loved her so much.
One August evening of 2006, little Valya was playing with her friend in the courtyard of the 5-story building in which their family lived. Later, her friend came back home while Kateryna's sister disappeared.
We went to the police after waiting for 3 days and hoping she would probably be back. But Valya never returned.
The police did the search and interrogated people, asking if someone had heard or knew something.
However, they found no clues. Nobody had seen or heard anything suspicious.
After a week of the search for the little Valya Varich, the police informed the family they had presumably found her dead.
The girl had been strangled, but the family was never asked to identify the body.
They said the body was heavily mutilated. They only showed us her things, and we recognized some fragments of her clothing.
Does this mean you didn't even see your sister's body at the funeral?
No, they forbade us. There was a policeman who accompanied us to make sure we didn't open the casket.
Do you mean you're uncertain if she's dead?
Yes. Here's her final photo.
I had a vision. A man's hands holding a wire, which is tied in a very strange knot. The knot is tied around the little Valya's neck.
I understand it won't console you, but you really buried your sister? The child is murdered. She's like crucified and has a crown of thorns on her head.
A shocking revelation. Was this a ritual murder, or what else could the clairvoyant's words mean?
She was found at a military graveyard. They said she'd been strangled with a wreath.
Her murderer was never found.
No.
I'd like to tune into the site where she disappeared.
We took the girl's photo to work with it later that day.
In the morning before the investigation, the psychics started discussing something excitedly.
The murdered Valya was standing in front of me, but she wasn't alone. Next to her was a girl of her age. She was dark-haired and had a dandelion wreath on her head. She was also murdered. They were both strangled.
Could it be some kind of serial child killer?
Meanwhile, the little Valya's friends and family have gathered in the courtyard in which she disappeared.
I saw her say goodbye to a girl, then look at her phone and leave the playground.
Let's summon the girl's spirit. She says, Kateryna.
Yes, this is what called me. Forgive me, my dear little sister. I couldn't protect you.
She says it's not your fault.
She sees a car of fair color. Its window is open, and through the window, she sees someone's eyes. The eyes are smiling, and she smiles in response.
Kateryna says she also heard about the car from one of the neighbors.
When she looked out of the window, she saw a white car. Valya was getting into it.
There's a man in the car. He gives her a doll, and the girl gets in his car. The man accelerates sharply. He takes her somewhere where there's nobody around. The man tormented the child. It's so terrible. It's not a human, but a beast. Oh, God. She was thrown away like a broken doll.
The body was in a strange pose. It looked like he attempted to rape her, but we were never told if she was raped or not. She would never approach a stranger, even to get a doll.
He looks like someone she used to know, but then didn't see for some time.
Her godfather. He often went to work abroad. Every time he returned, he brought her presents.
Valya's godfather was in another town on the day when she disappeared, but the girl didn't know that.
She took the other man for him.
Because of the doll.
Your sister's murderer is dead. She showed us him. He died in the same car. It looked like it crashed. The last thing he saw in the darkness was your sister's eyes. And then, the brakes squealed and the car crashed into a tree.
But Valya's spirit asked us to help another girl who's being threatened by another man. It's a little girl of about 7 or 8.
We don't have any little girls in our family.
Valya's spirit says you're the mother of the girl we're supposed to save from death.
Do you have a daughter of 7 or 8?
Yes, Amina.
It turned out that this young woman lives with her family in one of the neighboring buildings. She and her mother and aunt were on the way home.
I saw the psychics, and so we decided to come up.
Lisa was planning to contact the psychics anyway because some kind of evil spirit has been haunting her little daughter.
Something is threatening the child. I fear for her.
However, Zhana Shulikova feels that the threat emanates from a human. But the girl's mom claims it's an otherworldly entity.
I saw a notebook, and in it, there was a phrase written in a kid's handwriting, "He's the evil," and there was one word there. Had I deciphered it then, I would have made the mother confess everything.
Could the phrase from the child's notebook mean the otherworldly force? What is going on to the little Amina?
Smoke. Fire.
Did you have a fire at your home?
Yes, we did. My mother woke up and ran to extinguish it.
It turned out that one night, the whirring in the apartment where the family lives burned, and the curtain caught fire quickly. Lisa's mother was extremely fortunate to extinguish the fire, but Lisa believes somebody from the other world stands behind the fire.
I felt something pass by me, but when I turned around, I saw nothing.
And a few days before the fire, Lisa witnessed somebody's ghost next to her daughter.
The silhouette was vague, as if it was made of smoke or mist.
You're not the only one to feel it.
My aunt feels it too.
I felt something, like a hand, running along my hair. I got so scared.
To find out what is threatening Lisa's daughter, I needed to see the girl. Hello? Could you please give me your hands? You can take the child. I see a storeroom. I see a little girl sobbing next to a suitcase. She's holding a doll in her hands. But the doll looks like it's smeared in something red. Like blood. It's not Amina, but energetically, this girl is very much like Amina.
Who could this girl be?
Look over there.
There's a girl sitting on the swing. I saw her in my dream. The dandelion wreath. She was strangled like Valya. She's calling out. What is this? It hurts a lot. Dead eyes.
She's lying in a sack. It's so cold around her. She's wearing some dark pants. And the sweater that looks like yours. It's pink. Her feet are bare.
This is my sister.
My daughter.
It's shocking. Jana didn't even know where it had happened.
She was raped, first strangled, and then thrown away.
What was her name?
Ayla. She went to top up my phone and never returned.
That I was absent then.
Back then, Lisa was living in another town. Her mother got ill and stayed home. She needed to top up her mobile phone. And her younger daughter went to do it for her mom.
When she wasn't back in 20 minutes, I went to find her. Having checked everywhere, looking for her, I went to the police.
The officers searched all the neighboring courtyards and playgrounds and asked the little Allah's friends, but they didn't find her anywhere.
She was found 2 days later.
A woman who cleaned the streets found her.
The girl's body was in a trash container not far from the building in which she'd lived. Therefore, the clairvoyants went there.
I didn't want to live without my child. I can't.
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I wished I'd been killed instead of her.
I love her so much. I always go to her grave to ask for her forgiveness.
The aunt still remembers the last time when she and her niece went for a walk that spring.
She asked me to make a wreath for her, so I made it. And she put it on her head and said, "I'm a princess." And then she hugged me and pressed me so tightly.
Help me find out who did this to her.
And what happened?
She didn't die here.
She was brought and dumped here several hours before she was found.
After the girl was murdered, she was held in some kind of locked-up room, something like a basement.
The examinations revealed that the girl had been murdered the same night that she disappeared. However, it remains a mystery where her body was kept for over a day before it was dumped into the container.
Allah's spirit told me my murderer threatens Amina.
This is some kind of maniac, or I don't know who it could be.
She will show us where she was murdered.
Allah's spirit brought us to the door and pointed at the apartment on the first floor.
I live here.
What do you mean?
I live here with my mom.
Was she murdered at home? There was something wrong about this story.
Do you have any of the girl's possessions?
Yes.
I have a vivid vision. The girl is tormented. She's raped. And she's strangled.
But how could the rapist and murderer enter the apartment in which the girl lived. And who could he be?
I see the hands of a man. It's a strong man. He has dark brown eyes. And you know this man.
Probably.
You know him. Why is the child calling the murderer her father?
I can't believe it at all. He's the only person I trusted in my life.
We warned her 100 times it could end up in a tragedy at home.
It turned out that Allah called her stepfather, her dad.
By the time her daughter was murdered, Victoria had lived with a man named Gaji for 7 years. The woman's first marriage had collapsed after she fell head over heels in love with the handsome Oriental man.
It's such a great love. But he's in prison now.
For what is he there?
This time, for a rape. He raped Allah.
Gaji Muslimov, who used to live with Victoria, is currently serving a sentence. For the rape and murder of the 8-year-old Allah, he was sentenced to life in prison.
I don't know who the murderer really was. I can't believe he could do it.
The woman is certain that the man she loves would have never done anything like that. He only confessed everything because of the pressure from the police investigators.
They tortured him so badly that he ended up in the hospital.
Our expert found a police officer who was involved in the investigation. And he clearly remembers Victoria's partner confessed to the terrible crime. This is incredible, but the rapist claimed it was all the girl's fault.
He said the girl entered the kitchen and told him she wanted it, so he had sex with her. And when the girl started screaming, he strangled her, and that was it.
Do you know what I'm standing next to?
The storeroom.
The tears. The dark room and the suitcase. Why is the child in the suitcase?
Tell them. Why aren't you saying anything? You complained to me that he'd tied her up and put her in the suitcase.
Ask Mom, and she'll tell you.
The woman won't tell us. But Lisa says the man really locked his little stepdaughter in the suitcase to punish her for misbehavior.
Whenever she took a piece of bread improperly or peeked into the fridge.
Yes, it did happen, but I put an end to it.
But if Victoria admits the man was cruel to her daughter, why does she refuse to believe he raped and murdered the girl, especially after the experts proved he was apparently guilty?
Muslimov's sperm was found in the girl's vagina. Is there any more sound evidence than that?
I see you behind the bars.
I was imprisoned for this.
She spent 4 years in prison
For the murder of your daughter.
For helping him to take the body out of the apartment. But I didn't do it.
According to Victoria, at the moment of the murder, she was in the apartment. Together they came up with a plan to get rid of the child and keep the crime hidden from everyone. They hid the girl's body and then called the police, telling them that she had disappeared. The next night, they took the body out and dumped it in the trash container in the neighboring courtyard. Both his and her testimonies mention it.
He tortured her. Don't tell me you didn't know anything.
No.
But your murdered daughter says you did.
The girl's aunt only found out about this nightmare after her death. She was told about it in front of the morgue, from where they came to take her niece's body for the funeral.
this woman, a medic, went out and said, "I've seen many things in my life, but I've never seen a child who was raped for 2 or 2.5 years.
Could it be a kind of lesson for me? I don't know.
A big mother of a lesson, the child was murdered.
The only thing the mother could think of after her child was murdered was how to avoid prison for the man she loved. But I can't call this feeling love. This is some kind of perversion."
He's also being released soon because he's got the money and hired expensive lawyers.
It turned out that Victoria's partner submitted an appeal, and his life sentence was canceled.
The case was sent for a review, and the court may announce a new sentence soon. The lawyer is sure that Victoria's man will be released.
My client is not guilty. He will be released in any event.
I asked her what she would do after he's released, and she told me, "It's none of your business who I'll be sleeping with."
I didn't wish to spend even a second more in that woman's company.
What was the doll Allah was holding? It looked like it was smeared in blood.
She received it as a present, and she drew all over it. This is how she expressed her emotions.
And I saw a notebook with an awful phrase in it. He is the evil, and there was a third word I couldn't make out.
I had a dream. I was holding that notebook in my hands, and it read, "He is the evil. Dad, period, evil."
She was forced to call him Dad.
The spirit of the raped and murdered girl, through us, wanted to save her niece. Because if that beast is released, little Amina's life will be in danger.
I'm absolutely shocked and stupefied. I'm terrified to even think of what happened to my sister, and I don't want it to happen to my daughter. I'm taking my children and leaving.
You and your family can come and live with me. Oh, you know it well.
After the psychic's investigations, despite all the attempts of the beast's lawyers, the court sentenced him to life in prison. The murderer will never be free again. If you're impressed by this story, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel, not to miss new episodes.